field, or not the fans, rather the students take to the field to clap on or run on their first team.
Well, look out for Jordan Euster, who's the loose head prop who had such an impact at Craven Week. And of course, Jaden Jabir in the 5-lock position will provide a surfeit of position for his side. Liam de Villiers is a very promising 9, and Alessandro Tasso and Vian Delport are 2 well-equipped centres that are sure to give South African College School a run around. Look out for Bernard Dutoy, who's on the bench in the number 18 jersey. Of course, he represented South African schools as well with aplomb in that recent game against the SAA side. And it is SACS who will have their work cut out if they are to cause a huge upset. Of course, the last time SACS beat Paarl boys was in 2006, and then part of their coaching staff of Nick Mara and Max Bakwe. Nick Mara, of course, led his side in 1996 to a victory by 14 points to 10. Here we have a look at the SACS side. Look out for their number 9 and 10, Matt Forbes and Robert Boyes, of course, 2 very accomplished halfbacks, and then a front row that represented the Academy Week for Western Province in Sawuka, Zankwa and Hermanus, who are well equipped to deal with the onslaught of Paarl boys this afternoon. The headmaster's sons represented in 12 and 13 in the street down here. In fact, it's Brug Street, my apologies. And look at the size of some of those Paarl boys. Well, SACS's forwards will have their work cut out this afternoon, Morgan.
Yeah, the old cliche. Games like this, won or lost up front, I'll have to lay it on an early platform, will SACS. That being said, they'll have to play in the right areas of the field. They do have the wind at their backs in this first half, and it will be of utmost importance they get the angles right, the kickers get the angles right, and make sure they play deep in the half of this boys' eye side and force them to try and run from deep.
So it'll be SACS who'll be getting us underway. As you look at your screens, left to right, the wind at their back. And it is young Robert Boyes who will start the proceedings. Our referee this afternoon is Jabir Labaskachni, and he's assisted by Francois Philander on the one touch. Of course, Robert Boyes, his dad was a very accomplished sportsman. Dougie played cricket and rugby for South African schools, a very decorated sportsman in his time. So we're just waiting for proceedings to get underway from the referee. And of course, our subsidiary sponsors are Food Lovers Market and Suzuki, who are part of this King Price Derby series. And we're all set to go. And it is, in fact, Michael Skills who's going to get us underway. Not quite sure what we're waiting for.
Looks like we're waiting for the assistant referee to make his way down the touchline here.
And away we go, and it's a deep kick into that Paarl boys 22, letting the ball bounce criminally. The final runner in the form of number 8. And in front of the uprights are Paarl boys. Early pressure from SACS, good chase from the restart. And the kick coming in from Liam de Villiers, well taken out of the air by the left winger in Kaleb Holmes.
Take him back.
Taken back is the call, and it is Francois van der Merwe, the vice captain, who has hooked it down the middle of the field. And a little jittery start from Quinna McLakay, but he's found a touch just outside that Paarl boys 22-meter area.
Yeah, brave play there from Boys Eye. Happy to kick in the open side with the wind into your face, away from your forwards. Rather brave. SACS not really able to capitalize from that early mistake.
Step.
So we Paarl boys to feed the line out. 5-man line out, and of course taken by Wilkin. Spun out into midfield.
No, release now, number 8, release 8. Thank you.
De Villiers pop inside to his loose forward was the fly off in front of Mava. De Villiers looking for ball to get out of his 22, and that's another contestable, but it's gone way too long and the chase is a little bit porous. Good work by Lakay. Looking for quick ball is Forbes. He finds a worthy recipient in Sawuka. Forbes out to Boys. Big hit in midfield by Paarl. Boys. A hand in there, and it's a little bit scrappy, but it's still on the side of SACS. It's Boys again feeding his tight forward. Some nice interpassing. Forbes again pulled out the back. Hitting a solid defensive line was Boys. But it's still on the side of SACS. Forbes changing the angle of attack and going the other way. Playing a little bit zigzag of SACS. And they're just getting met in defense as Ruben de Klerk finds himself isolated. Now the kick comes from Boys. A speculator along the floor. Taken down was Mark Rindley, but unfortunately for SACS in a high tackle. And it is a penalty for Paarl Boys, who've been under the cosh for the opening 2.5 minutes in this King Price Derby Series splash.
Yeah, well, SACS holding onto the ball through a couple of phases. Didn't look like there were much penetration, though. Moving quite laterally. Very good defense here from Boys. And probably in the end, the right idea to kick, as this kick for touch is not out.
Retreat now, retreat.
Okay, smacks it into the heavens. Now under it are two tight forwards. Eventually it is the lock forward in Matthijs Loopshow, who has a strong carry. De Villiers feeds Vanamava, looking for another kick down the middle of the field. Now he's found a little bit of space in behind SACS, and it's the right wing of, in fact it's the left wing of Abrams who's done any mopping up work. De Villiers feeding his tight head in Hermans. Boys finds the pod. Solid hit coming in again from Paarl Boys. De Villiers back to Boys, who decides to go with a distance contestable, landing just outside the Paarl Boys 22. Now he's taken off his Grindley. Counter-attack opportunity he has. He spins it wide to Moultrie. Moultrie still going on the inside. Nice running by the right winger, and it's a penalty against SACS for yet another high tackle. That's the second in as many minutes, and they'll have to watch themselves in their defensive efforts. Good strong run by Moultrie into the wind, and if SACS are going to kick like that, they're going to have their hands full with their counter-attacking opportunities from this Paarl Boys back three and the options that they pose.
Yeah, SACS are going to have to be a little bit more creative with the attack. Seems as though, because the wind's at their back, they're just kicking the ball away, but it doesn't seem as though there's a real plan to their kicking just yet. Maybe kick the contestable is an option.
You always look to kick the ball to where the wind's going to take it. And that's your first port of call. As we see a line-out stolen by SACS. Good work in competing for it, but it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy, and it's hoiked downfield. And that's a wonderful kick by the tight forwards. As Paarl Boys go quickly, here goes Grindley. Strong handoff, but run himself into a dead end is Grindley, and it's a knock-on. Good kick chase by SACS. Turnover ball, looking to spin it wide were those in blue and white, and it's come to naught.
Small knock-on there, we're going back for the advantage.
But some good work in the kick chase department from South African college schools.
Yeah, I must agree with you there, Gareth. Very, very good work.
Can't be offside if the ball is backwards. Can't be offside.
Referee just explaining the laws.
Yeah.
Now this is where you expect the heat to come on for the Southern Suburb School.
There we see It's just after the knock on, SACS trying to get the ball into some open space. Happy to throw it
it's
around. The
come to
advantage
naught.
was being played, and we come back for the scrum down.
Well, great attacking opportunity here in the middle of the field for SACS. Two sides to attack. And penalty first up for the visitors, as it is the tight head prop in the form of Cruz Davies, who's been penalised for a knee on the ground at scrum time. And it'll be SACS who'll be looking to open their scorecard with a kick at goal. And it is the headmaster's son of the junior school, Michael Skills, who look to try and guard this through the uprights. He's got a little bit of in fact, he's got a gusting wind to contend with. He actually needs somebody to hold the ball to SACS. But it is Skills who will look to try send this between the uprights and give the visitors a well-deserved lead. Strike is solid from Skills, and over she goes, and it is SACS who take a 3-point lead in this King Price Derby series via the boot of their outside centre in number 13, Michael Skills.
Yeah, it's a big scrum there from both sides. That first scrum always so important, trying to lay down your early marker. There we see referee trying to harsh on the
first
call,
up
but
for
nonetheless saying tight head putting
the
his hand on the
visitors.
ground.
As great work in the chase from the restart from Paarl boys, but it is SACS who've won the tap back. Good pass from Forbes. He's a worthy runner in Daniel Grant. Back to boys. He's now decided to go distance again. Now, chases are a little bit cumbersome from SACS as Paarl boys decide to truck it up midfield in the form of Wilkin. De Villiers feeding a big running Jooste. Good carry by the SA Schools Lucid. De Villiers out to Fanamava. Show and go halfway through a hole, but scythed down by SACS. Good defense. Swarming all over them are SACS at the moment. Paarl boys not making any meterage, and it's a turnover for SACS as they're looking for runners. Now he's found his jinxing fullback in Lakay. Good footwork by the number 15. Skills found, it's in fact Forbes finding his runner. Forbes looking for a runner. Counter-ruck coming in. Good hands from the number 18, Satole. Well, this is one of my frustrations of referees, Morgan, and maybe I'm a little bit old school. Please don't coach as a referee. Blow what you see. That looked like a gilt-edge penalty for SACS.
Yeah, I think you may be right. I do agree with the blow what you see. Second scrum of the game. SACS got a penalty in their first one.
Maybe I'm just old school.
You're not old school, Gareth. You're a fly-off. They do see it differently, don't they?
Let's keep it up, elbows up as well. Good pictures.
So looking for good pictures now. Second scrum of the game. Paarl boys penalised at that first one. That's a good hit from SACS. Great scrum from those in blue and white stripes as it's taken in, but it's a good work at the breakdown by Paarl boys, and it's Tasso's won that turnover. Quick ball from De Villiers, a little bit scrappy from Paarl boys. They'll need to sharpen their skill set up as it's a carry from Matthijs
Oh,
Loopsha.
leave now, leave. Off it, leave.
De Villiers looking for quick ball. Out the back to his fullback in Grindley. Good step by Grindley, looking for the chicken wing out the back.
Off feet, on your feet.
Set up just inside that SACS half. Another big carry from Loopsha, but he's met in defence. Van der Merwe out the back from the Fluff, and again it's some tigerish defence from South African College School. It's another knock-on from the home side, and you can hear the wooing and cheering.
I gaan hierdie tolerate your game nie. Ons is nou net 10 minute in die game. We're not going to tolerate this verbal abuse. Keep quiet, play the game.
And the referee has laid a
Knock on.
strong marker down.
Again. The side, please, more positive.
Yeah, once again,
Head up.
this time, I don't think the pass was too bad.
Closer.
Just taking his eye off the ball, looking at the oncoming tacklers from SACS, and he knocks it
Under
on.
patience, ne?
But a rather frantic start from both sides. No real calm, no real finesse about the opening couple of minutes. They'll really have to calm down, will this boys' high side?
Crouch!
SACS have
Boing.
certainly bought their part come scrum time.
Sit!
That's a better hit from Jooster,
Stop, you.
but it's still on the side of SACS as they change direction. Here's Lekay spinning it out to his outside centre in Skills. Changing direction. There's boys again. Another bump off. Paarl boys are falling off numerous tackles, and that'll concern their coaching staff. Pulled out the back to boys. A floated pass over, and here on the right wing, some silky running from
Away, tackler.
Josh Jurgens. Looking for quick ball is the scrum off in Forbes. Boys changing the attack and smacking it along the ground. Van der Merwe beats him easily now. Van der Merwe can open up for the Fluff. He's thrown the pass, but his inside centre and Alessandro Tasso just watched it go over his head. And again it's SACS who just swarming in between Paarl boys.
What?
Yeah, one feels like SACS, Paarl boys need to go back to what they know. They need to go to the basics, just keep it ugly, around the corner, forwards. The wind is against them, and so they may feel like they need to start opening it up to try and get out of that danger zone, but they need to learn to be comfortable with ball in hand in their own half.
Zankwa feeds the tail of the line out. Now Forbes feeding boys. Strong run from Satoli in midfield. Just a little bit over the halfway again. SACS looking to hit and change the direction. Now it's a running chance from Skills, and he's just put in a deft little touch, keeping Paarl boys pinned in their own half. And it's not a 50-22, just bouncing just outside. And it'll be line-out feed for the home side.
Yeah. You're outside, Blue, you're outside.
5-man line-out for the home side. Good work by Wilkin. Back to De Villiers, but it's drifted in field, his exit. Now the chase from Paarl boys. A little bit at 6s and 7s, and SACS just using this win to good effect. Judicious use of the boot from the visitors, and Quinnan Lekay keeping Paarl boys pinned down in their own half. They're a little bit subdued, this Paarl crowd, as a hush goes over it. Not what they expected, and full marks to SACS over just before the 15-minute mark. They're full value for their 3-point lead here down at Brug Street.
Yeah, SACS certainly are playing the right game.
Lay on.
Driving more now by Paarl boys as the juggernaut gets going. Those in dark blue, light blue and white still going over the 10-meter line. Carried up by Cruz Davies. Still going as the big tight head prop.
Release now, release.
De Villiers looking for quick ball again off the base. That's a much better contestable from the scrum off, but there are no chasers. And it's unfortunately gone forward.
Good contact.
Koranlake showed his bravery by getting up to try and win the contestable, but unfortunately he's just palmed it forward. That's a tactic from Liam de Villiers. His coaching staff will be well pleased with that effort. He's into a very strong wind, and that's how you got to kick in these conditions.
Right. Again, this
Yeah, they'll want to be peppering that
Deep lip.
fullback for sure.
Let's go.
The kickoff 9 option against the wind, Gareth. You're a fly much better than I am at making this decision. But kicking off 9 is probably the better option. Instead of passing it 10 meters back to only kick it 20 meters.
There's not enough.
You either got to kick in the wider channels along the ground, or you got to go off 9. Simple as that. Can't go back to 10 or Fanamava. It's taken them 15 minutes to work it out.
Crouch!
Now, first real attacking scrum in the SACS half for Paarl boys. He's got a blind side to work with, has Liam de Villiers. Decides to come open to Fanamava, looking for the runners out the back. And it's knocked on again by Mark Rindley. And you can hear the woo-wooing from SACS as their confidence begins to grow. And focus being shouted by one of the tight forwards. Not too happy with the backs knocking that on.
Plenty of chat in that boys' eye front row.
Let's go, boys.
And this is a difficulty for Paarl boys. They surely have 1 hour next week. And that's got to impact them in this opening 17 or so minutes. Because their performance has been a little bit inept, if one has to be brutally honest.
Well, you mentioned it, and I thought
Crouch!
there's no way that could be the case, but it certainly does look like it by the way they're playing.
Sit! Up. Now, stay.
Oh, it's another free kick from SACS. Going their way. Quick tap and go from Forbes, feeding boys out the back, the wraparound. He's got numbers on the outside. Unfortunately, the pass just didn't go to hand. And that is an opportunity that has gone amiss for those from the southern suburbs. Good work in attack by Forbes. Quick tap and go out the back to boys, but just overran it was Lakay.
Here's yours.
Yeah, that final pass, the crucialness of that final pass, gotta go to hand there.
This is yours, SACS. This is yours.
Referee seems to be losing patience with some discipline amongst the forwards from both sides.
Fed walk in again, down to his fly Fanamava. Good run from Jaden Jooster, the South African schools loose head. De Villiers changing the angle of attack. Fanamava feeding his number 7 walk in short. Going down that blind side. Good run by number 8, Stefan Amava. And that's another knock on from Paarl boys. As tempers begin to fray here. And it's frustration that's boiling over from the home side.
Nothing.
I need to just settle down, keep their eye on the ball for SACS. The more this drags on, the more they bring their crowd into it. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered for South African College School.
Yeah, gotta agree with you. 20 minutes in, 3-0. Probably loved it a little bit more, but with the wind at their backs, playing the right game and starting to really exert some pressure on this boys' side, some scoreboard pressure and some field position pressure.
Crouch! Bind. Sit!
Good scrum from Boys High. Boys feeds his centre pairing. Strong tackle in midfield. on Daniel Grant, but it's still on the side of SACS. Wrapping around the corner was Satoli. It looked like a no-arms tackle from Paarl boys. Changing the angle of attack again. Here's Forbes. Some strong work defensively by Paarl boys. Matt Forbes looking for quick ball, and this time it is the dropsies from SACS, and it's a hoik through from Paarl boys, and it's their right winger in Cole Moultrie, who has got one against the run of play, one has to say, for the home side. It was just an error in attack from SACS, and Paarl boys have seized the opportunity, and through their right winger, Cole Moultrie has come up with the goods.
You can say that again. Rather opportunistic here from Boys High.
Thanks, Frank.
And definitely against the run of play, Gareth. SACS a silly little error opening the door for Boys High. And they pounce immediately.
Well, that's sure to warm the cockles of ex-South African captain Corne Krige, who is prominent in this effort down here in Paarl. They've roped him in. However, attention now falls on the shoulders of Van der Merwe. He's got a win to contend with. He'll have to swing it in from right to left. Strike is clean. He's looking at it very anxiously, and it's just away to the right. And it is Paarl boys who have jumped into a 2-point lead in this King Price Derby series, as they are 5 points to 3 to the good, with 15 or so minutes remaining in this first half.
SACS taking their time to get to the halfway line. We're just regrouping.
Well, big chase being bellowed out across the turf here, and you'd expect it to go deep, which it does so, and it's bounced just in field over the head of left wing Kaleb Holmes. And again, it's another error from Paarl boys. They'll have to have a look very carefully if that touched the line or was just inside.
Yeah, here's yours.
I think the touchy may have got the right call there, I feel.
Absolutely. Again, it's Paarl boys deep inside there on 22, as it is the hooker in Grundling to feed the line out. Again, it's taken in by number 8 and captain Van der Merwe looking for the maul. It'll be de Villiers who will look to clear. Again, it's a contestable that's drifted in field. Good work by the number 14 of Jurgens, but he's been held up by Cruz Davies and company. But SACS driving behind it, and that juggernaut's going to ground. However,
From a kick, a maul resulting from a kick, same team ball.
it is a same team ball from a maul resulting
team
from
ball,
a kick.
yeah.
Good application of the laws for the referee.
Same team.
Yeah, very well communicated from the referee as well.
No, doesn't matter. It's from a kick. Yeah? Let's go, boys.
Good work here by Paarl boys trying to wrap their arms around.
Yeah, we see it moving faster forward at a rate of knots. But the right call there from the referee is from a kick, and so it will result in SACS ball, even though it wasn't going to come out
It's getting better. Right.
for all money.
Let's go.
SACS have a fantastic blindside. They've got a 2-on-1 here now. Paarl boys have rectified the defense now, pulled an extra man across. But if they decide to go 8-9, it'll be a 4v3 if they can get a right shoulder.
Safe.
But they've gone the other way. Boys feeds his hard-running centre in Grant.
No, no.
Looking for quick ball are SACS. Satole out the back. Here now goes the left winger, and it's a wonderful try by MTS Abrams, and SACS have struck back immediately. Great work from the set face. Plugged it up in midfield. Quick ball. Spun across the face from the number 8, Tando Satole, and he found a worthy recipient in MTS Abrams. And SACS of full value for their 8 points to 5 with a kick to come from the outside centre in Michael Skills.
Well, you spoke about it being complete training ground. Sets the midfield target of the big hard-running forwards, or rather centres. Comes around the corner, face ball across the front, and over they go in the corner. For a very, very important score, one feels, Gareth.
And if Skills can add the extras, Strike is solid. He's having a look. And it's just drifted away. However, it is SACS who've certainly thrown the cat amongst the pigeons down here at Brug Street. And they lead this King Price Derby Series. Quick ball. Look at the pass from Satolia. And running onto it was Abrams. And he's in the corner is the diminutive left winger.
What makes that try is the 8th man comes around the corner. Defender's got to stop, and then he releases the ball into space.
Knock-on advantage?
Well, knock-on advantage, as we see. Wilkin has been prominent all afternoon for Paarl boys in the opening 25 minutes, foraging forward. However, no advantage.
We're going back, guys, for the
First knock. Well, the coaching staff of Paarl boys looks a little bit bemused. Arms folded. Not happy at all are those behind the poles you see under the uprights there. Their side, a much vaunted Paarl boys side, has only lost the solitary game down against Oakdale at the beginning of the year by 28 to 26. Are certainly not impressed by this opening 25 minutes.
Well, you spoke about the conditions. Certainly is a 14, 15-point breeze at the back of SACS. And although boys, I won't be happy with the result so far,
Bind!
they'll be quietly confident going into the second half, I feel, if the scoreline was to stay this way. But still 9 minutes to go in the first half.
Boys, calm down.
Well, it sounds like there's 16 referees out there at the moment.
Penalty here. Let's go. I didn't penalize any of you. Let's go. Let's play.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Good pictures, yes. Let's go.
Great story about George Gregan. He got once called over the referee. The ref said, sounds like there are 10 referees on the field, and George Gregan, quick as a flash, said, and you're not in the top 10, sir.
Bind!
Right, good attacking opportunity now as De Villiers feeds the scrum. That's better from Paarl boys. De Villiers feeds Van der Merwe, looking for runners, and he's found his inside centre in Delport. Quick ball coming around the corner of Paarl boys. Strong work from Paarl boys. The SACS are just trying to get numbers to fold. That's the inside pass from Loubser. Met in defence. De Villiers looking for the ball, but it's good work at the breakdown by SACS. But no advantage as the South African College School were offside. And it is Sipho Gubendi who has been penalised, the Cravenwick Academy 15 player, as Van der Merwe smacks it into touch. And if you're a betting man, you could put your house at a driving ball is going to come from here.
Well, we've seen it all morning. Why would it change now?
Open up, please. Number 4. Come closer. There's your mark, boys. 2 by 2, please. 2 by 2.
And it's a wheel in motion now, Paarl boys. Just short of that line. Another penalty from SACS coming in from the side. Just trying to thwart the efforts of Paarl boys. Use it once is the call. And no advantage. Now SACS are going to be really careful here. That's the second penalty as they decide to tap quickly and go through Loubser. He's a meter so short.
Away, no! Away.
De Villiers looking for quick ball. Spun out to Jooste. He's inches short as the SA Schools player. Looking for runners out the back. Here it comes, popped inside of Van der Merwe. Still met in defence from SACS. And it's another penalty. Surely there's a double blast on that whistle coming. There we go.
Well,
Side entry, side again, and you're not releasing. Right, quick succession. Next one's going to the bin. Have a chat.
Great officiating. Clear, concise, to the money.
I must say I really have been impressed with the referee in this opening 28 minutes. His communication has been on point. Hasn't missed a beat.
Tap and go. De Villiers feeds one of his big runners. Looking for quick ball. Can't pre-latch. Cruz Davies decides to pick and go. It's 2 meters short. De Villiers foraging for that ball. It's Paarl boys popped up to another worthy recipient. Just short of the line. Coming again. It's Wilkin this time. as they batter that SACS try line down, but they've been met in defence. Spun out the back, Vanamava. He goes around, he's got men on the outside, and it's Vanamava whose scything run has got him in the corner, and the pivot has split it open for Paarl boys. Great work, great footwork, great vision, and he's got in for his 5-pointer.
Yeah, Gareth, I think you might disagree with me here, but I think he gets away with one there. The runner in the front, referee says that had no effect. Even if he just stops that catch-up defender for just that split second.
It'll be the same Vanamava will be looking to add the extras on his 5-pointer. In fact, Mark Grindley's taken over the goal kicking duties. He's given that a solid thump, but it's away to the right, and it is Paarl boys who are up by 2 in the seesaw battle, by 10-8 in this King Price Derby series. Out the back, just a handoff coming in on number 9, Matt Forbes, allowed Francois Vanamava, the vice captain of the side, to get in for his 5-pointer.
Yeah, right to left. Thank you.
So skills to get us underway again. You can bet your bottom dollar this is going deep. And it's down to Cruz Davies, who finds himself in backfield. Oh, out the road, son, as he barrels over Ruben de Klerk, but it's another knock-on from Paarl boys.
Yeah, let me manage that. Number 20, Captain, Sango. Don't do that again. All right.
SACS have just ruffled the feathers of Paarl boys. They've got under their skin. Look at the run coming in from Cruz Davies.
Yeah, it's a big bullocking run. It's a big man. 2 big men colliding there. But again, you said it so well, Gareth. They've really gotten under the skin. They're playing the right game almost against the Paarl boys. They like it very neat. They like their rucks clean. They like coming around the corner. And they're not getting it all their own way in this opening 31 minutes.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Crouch! Bind! Sit! Steady now, boys. Side.
Fed by Forbes, now looking for boys. Spun out to Grant. Skills in a hole. Cut down. Good defensive work by Paarl boys. And it's a turnover for the home side. Great work on the floor by the open side flanker in Van Zyl.
No, daylight.
Wedgie Van Zyl. Daylight now the referee is looking for. De Villiers on to Lopsha. He's been their talisman in carrying it up. De Villiers to his backs now, looking for Alessandro Tasso, who's been hit hard in defence. De Villiers, now he has Cruz Davies again. Great defensive work by SACS.
Roll away. You're underway. Roll away.
And unfortunately, Kieran Herman
Yeah,
has been penalised for not rolling away. Tackler needs to roll away quicker. Gee whiz, I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that Paarl boys change room come half time. Bet your house you'll get a rocket from the coaching staff. I tell you what I've seen in this game thus far, in this King Price Derby series. Paarl boys have come in here and seriously underestimated SACS. They've thought SACS have taken 80 plus against Paarl Gym, our neighbours. This is going to be an easy fixture. And such is the case.
I have to agree with you, Gareth.
Now that looked a little bit skew from Grundling, but he's got away from one. As Cole Moultrie moves around. There goes the kick from De Villiers. Good working and reading of space. But it's just gone a little bit too far. And it'll be a 22-metre drop in, of course. There's no goal line dropout at schoolboy rugby. 22-metre drop in this King Price Derby series. What a pulsating first half we've had as the sands of time tick away in this first half.
Open.
Sanity should prevail here. Smack it as deep as you can. Will the forwards be saying to Michael Skills, let's see if we can get something more out of this first half. And he duly obliges. He's whacked it down in front of Mava. The pivot of Paarl boys. Again, met in defense and driven backwards. Again, it's SACS who swarm all over them. Good work by Sango Zankwa.
No. There's no lift.
De Villiers feeding his fullback in Grindley. Now taken on by Christian Grindling. Quick ball from De Villiers. He's opened up for Lopesha and he's bundled into touch. Great defensive work from the right winger, Josh Gorgens.
Just relax. Calm down. It is now half time, the next stoppage.
Gotta agree with you, Gareth. There's something about the way, the approach that SACS have had towards this. They've come out here and they've really said they're not going to allow this boys' eye side to just dominate them and have things their own way. They've really got stuck in and they're reaping the rewards of it at 10 points to 8. They'll be very, very happy at half time, although it is a mountain to climb with the wind at your back in that second half.
Let's go, please.
Zankwa will be looking to hit his lock forward and they'll be looking to hoik it out. In fact, it's gone over the top. They've got away with one. Ruben de Klerk
Balls available.
takes it there and SACS have smacked it into touch and that'll be half time.
Half time, please.
And what a first half we've had here down at Brug Street, as it is the visitors SACS who've been full value in this ever strengthening breeze at their back as Grindley goes short. Contested by Paarl boys. Quick ball for the Villiers, looking for runners. It's Lopesha again. Route one from the big number 4. De Villiers. And that's a great line from Grindley, and that's exactly what the home side would have wanted. And straight off the bat, it is the fullback from Paarl Boys High. Mark Grindley has got in for the opening score in the second half.
Yeah, I almost wanted to say just before kickoff or the second half kickoff, the important thing now is for SACS to control the game, keep themselves in it for long periods of time. But yeah, we see just the against the grain can be so effective. It seems so soft, but so effective from Boys Eye as they get the opening score of the second half. And it almost, just by the body language alone, looks like it's blown the wind out of the sails of the SACS side without the second half having even really started.
Well, one back from the restart, strong carry from a lock, great line from 15, easy as you like, 7 points. Just wonder what was said in the sheds at halftime. And it's Francois van der Merwe, the vice captain of Paarl Boys, who have put his side out into a 9-point lead, as it is Skills who gets us going again with a high-hanging restart on the side of De Villiers. Now, contestable, up she goes. As Lakay finds himself at the back, a little bit isolated.
No release.
As he's run down a somewhat of a dead alley, has Lakay spun to number 7. And Harrison Bell, good work by Bell. Making meters. SACS are going to have to carry into this wind. Thrown out the back to Skills again. Met in defense now. It's Paarl Boys' turn to swarm defensively all over SACS. Forbes, again, static ball for SACS.
No.
And Matt Forbes looking to marshal his troops back to the right winger and Jurgens, who's put in a very poor kick inside his 22. Advantage for Paarl Boys, and he's lucky he's got away with that as Jurgens.
Yeah, but aimless there from SACS once again. You spoke about it in the first half with Paarl Boys. You can't just kick aimlessly because the wind is into you. You've got to kick in the wide channels, got to try and get the ball in the wide channels, keep the ball in front of your forwards potentially. And they've got to carry for long periods of time. They've got to learn to get comfortable with ball in hand in their own half.
Absolutely. That's King Price Derby Series. That was a run from Mark Grindley. Great work by the fullback. And which was his foray into the back line that was rewarded with 7 points.
Identify the east one. Let's go. Left of the mark in, let's go.
Scrum time's been hotly contested between these two outfits.
Bind! Sit!
And again, short blast on the ref's whistle. Too much
Gents,
movement.
Listen up. On set, bind your binds and bind your feet. Let's go. I need a way better picture this side as well, please. I need you square. Let's go.
Again, good clear communication from the referee. Be Matt Forbes to feed the scrum.
Crouch! Bind!
Now he's got a little bit of a blind here for SACS. If he could just get a right shoulder ever so slightly.
Stop, stay, push.
Strong running from Centre and Grant. Good work by the number 12. Pop back to the captain in Zankwa. But it's been ripped away from Jaden Jooster. And it is Paarl boys who red hot on the attack now. Walking, forging forward.
He needs to go, he needs to go.
De Villiers to Lopesha for the umpteenth time this afternoon. Carries, frees it up, back to De Villiers. SACS getting in amongst those Paarl boys players, but it's still on the side of the home side. De Villiers decides to put a speculative kick in. And there's a big knock on that's come in, but the referee has missed it. And he'll have a chat to his assistant referee. He was just on site, it was referee Lopesha. Let's have a listen.
Also, thank you.
Great officiating. He's gone to his AR and he's asked him for advice, and he's picked up the knock on.
It is really, really good officiating. Doesn't get too flustered by too many voices.
Yeah.
Well spotted there by the AR. It's a little dink over the top that seems so dangerous. And there we just see the knock on
Yeah, that's better.
from the lock as he tried to grab it out of the air.
Positive position. Let's go, Jay. Yeah.
SACS can't pass the ball back to Robert Boys and expect him to exit into this wind. They've got to go blind. Use the blind side. Kick it along the ground. Try and make it a contest.
Stand, boys.
Go on the 8-9, 15-14. Wingers got to come up when they go on the 8-9, and then it puts the dink in behind a little bit easier.
It's just going to hold up in the breeze, and that's exactly what's happened. It affords Paarl boys a counter-attack opportunity as Grindley decides to come back on that short side. A penalty for a high tackle against SACS. De Villiers feeds his 5-lock partner, and Jaden Jabir has had a relatively quiet game by his standards. Spun out the back to Grindley. Now over the top to the right wing in Cole Moultrie, the try scorer Moultrie. Spun back to Grindley, out across the face. It's Jabir who finds Jooster. Good interpassing between the tight forwards now. It could free up on the outside. Paarl boys have got numbers to burn, and it's spun away into the corner. What a try from Paarl boys. Great interpassing. Spinning SACS left and right. And it looks like the number 12 centre in the form of Alessandro Tasso, who's got him for his 5-pointer. Great work in midfield by the tight forwards.
Yeah, really, really good work from the tighties, managing to take the hit but still get the pass away. Sucks in that defenders, and eventually SACS is running out of numbers with plenty of space there in the corner.
Now we'll see how Fanamava contends with the wind at his back. It will have a profound effect on his goal kicking. He'll have to start it on that right hand upright ball, the pivot. Looking for a bit of rhythm going into next week is the pivot. Strike is solid. He's looking at it anxiously, and it's away again to the right. You would have found that if Boys High had kicked their conversions, there would have been 28 points to the good. Instead, it is 28 points to 8.
There we see nice straightening up, playing up the short side. That final pass, over they go. Making it look so easy. Both their tries in the second half.
SACS go deep again. Vanamava the recipient this time. You can expect de Villiers to use that trustworthy left boot. And it's sent skywards. Good work from the outside centre in the form of Skills, but it's SACS going backwards. The right wing this time, and Abrams, who's been side down. Zankwa carries in midfield, well met in defence by Paarl Boys. Going backwards or SACS. Herman's pulled out the back to Boys. They've got numbers out to burn. Now Lakay's got a man on the outside, and it's the right winger in Jurgens. Here he goes. He puts a chip and chase in. Great competition in the air from the right winger, but it's landed up on the side of Paarl Boys.
Release.
Just needed that chip kick to go a little bit further as de Villiers is charged down, and he's kicked it into his own man. Accidental offside, and it's SACS who find themselves in a favourable position inside that We're young and school Paarl Boys High 22-metre area.
Quite surprising, referee never gave the advantage there on the accidental offside. Looked as though there were a couple of SACS boys running onto the kick. But he really has been effective, hasn't he, that scrum off? Used that left boot so well as Liam de Villiers.
This is familiar territory for SACS. They spent large portions of this game in Paarl Boys' 22-metre area. It's just their conversion rate that they want to improve on. Just think if they can find a mechanism to unlock this defence, we could be in for the pulsating back end of this fixture in this King Price Derby series. As again, the scrum is not stable. They need some ingenuity to the Southern Suburbs outfit.
Yeah. You got fine. Yeah, 9. Good pictures, please. Yeah.
Through the 45 degrees, that's why they've come back to reset.
Plenty of chat once again there amongst those front rows. Even Lowe knows what goes on in there, Gareth.
Not for you and I, Morgs. Not for you and I.
Big scrum needed here. Left shoulder for the visitors.
And it is Paarl Boys who have won a penalty. Somewhat fortuitously, but good work by Cruz Davies, Christian Grundling and Jaden Jooster, as they'll get an opportunity now to clear their lines. Vanamava has done just that, and he's taken play close up to the halfway line. So SACS had the feed, and it's on that loose head side that they've been absolutely monstered. Great work by Jaden Jooster as Paarl Boys decide to go forward again. It'll be the scrum off in de Villiers again, who puts in another telling kick. He's had a very good game as the number 9, Liam de Villiers. He's controlled proceedings in the second half with that left boot of his. And a 50-22 to boot.
I need you to push back in, please. Push back. Push back.
So, Grundling now to feed his jumper in number 4 in Lobsha. No contest. Driving more coming in from Paarl Boys as they start to creak forward towards that SACS line. Tigerish defence, and it's SACS who've come away with it. And it's again the number 6 in Sipum Gubadeni, who's come away with it. Forbes looking to clear his lines. Back to Skills, who's pulled it in field. And it's Fanamava in the white scrum cap who feeds Grundling. Good running by the lanky fullback. Quick ball from De Villiers. There's a replacement on in number 17 in the form of Bates Winshaw. Quick ball again, number 19. And this is Richard van Tonda. Good run from the replacement lock forward. Boys Eye looking to put this contest to bed. De Villiers to Fanamava. He's got men, he's got Grundling, throws an outrageous dummy. Everybody buys it. And it is Mark Grundling who's got in for his second of the afternoon. Great running from the lanky fullback, and is at the Suzuki game-changing moment that one feels could have put SACS's effort out of this contest.
No, you're not the captain, Jabba.
Large part of me that feels like you might have hit the nail on the head there. Certainly did feel like SACS were always in it, but this one might just be a bridge too far now. Takes it to the line, steps off the right, fends with the left. Plenty of work to do, and over he goes. Almost looked like he could have lost it, but certainly dotted that one down. And I got to agree with you, Gareth. Suzuki game changer, moment of the game.
Now Fanamava looking to add the extras. Strike is solid, but it's away to the right yet again. So Paarl boys lead this King Price Derby Series clash by 27 points to 8. And Mark Grundling, well, I tell you what, he's a lanky fellow, he's the fullback. He's reminiscent of a Blair Kinghorn. He's got such subtle movements. Just bounced off the right foot through that outrageous dummy. The handoff came in, and good work from the number 15 to get his brace. Skills gets us underway again. Deep kick to Fanamava. Feeds the replacement in the form of Max Milan in the number 20 jersey. Pulled out the back. Now Paarl boys having a run. Fanamava trying to get his hands free. Good tackle by SACS. De Villiers again. Puts another one skywards. Lakay, well met in defence. Brave work by the number 15. Paarl boys have got a release. Penalty advantage coming the way of SACS. Pulled out the back. Now it's Jurgens. Here he goes. Good work by the right winger in Jurgens. Taken up by Hermans. Kieran Hermans, a big fellow.
No advantage, guys. You're going back.
No advantage. A high tackle coming in on Quinnan Lakay. Just on halfway.
SACS got to regroup now. Got to get back into that half of Boys Eye. Set up that dangerous driving maul we know they possess. And just start to hold it to the ball through a couple of phases. Start to put this defensive Paarl boys under pressure. And as I say that, the kick doesn't go out.
Oh, commentators curse. Fanamava smacks it back with a little bit of interest. And we're back where we started. And here's the high tackle on Kieran Lakay, just above the shoulder level from number 17. Bates Winshaw, the replacement loose head, who's come onto the park. And it'll be Zankwe who will feed what looks like a 5-man line-out.
Yeah, hold your ground, blue. Hou je grond, blue. Stay blue.
Harrison Bell has been prominent for SACS at line-out time. Let's see if Zankwe can find him in the number 7 jersey. It's a dummy jump out to the back. Good work from SACS. Bell feeds down to Forbes, spun out wide. Met in defence was Daniel Grant. However, still on the side of SACS. Boys feeding his centre partner, hacked through from Lakay. It's Paarl boys here, spun out now. Good work from the replacement now in the number 18 jersey. That looks like it is Bernard Etoye, the SA Schools player who's made his way onto the field, but Great work at the breakdown by SACS yet again. And this time it was their captain, Tande Sitole. Crashed over and he's caught SACS napping.
Discipline of SACS letting them down now. Kicks have got to go out. Can't give away penalties when the wind is at the back. You're conceding 50, 60 meters at a time. This time, boys are, with their tails in the air, decide to take things quickly. They're picking up the pace of the game, and SACS just can't seem to be living with them.
Well, in the second half, they've been 22 with a conversion to come, 24 unanswered points in the space of 20 minutes. As Fanamava's guided one through, and that takes Paarl Boys into an unassailable 34.28 lead. Just quick ball in this King Price Derby series. They turn their backs to SACS. Fanamava tap, pop up to his big lock forward, and you're not going to stop him from there. Great work from the hard-working number 4 lock forward in Matthijs Loopscher. And it's all now starting to unravel for the visitors. And Michael Skills, he's just put that out on the full. Criminal from the outside centre. He's had such a workmanlike game as Skills. He's been involved in pretty much everything from the visitors' side. Unfortunately, it's just drifted into touch, and that has now given Paarl Boys another opportunity. As we see, Liam de Villiers being replaced by number 21 in Josh LaRue. He's had a good game as the number 9. I think he's marshalled his troops well in the second half. Getting high fives and a few handshakes from the coaching staff of Boys High. Better scrum from Boys High going forward now. Spun out to Fanamava. Good hard running by Caden Snyman. Have a player down in Skills. It looks like it here on the near side in front of our commentary position. Looking for quick ball is Forbes. Oh, there are a few haymakers being thrown in there. Ball was out. The referee adjudicates. Boys looking for his runners, and he's found Sawuka.
Release now, release.
Forbes. Back to Boys. Charge down now. Pressure coming on to SACS. Ballas to do the mopping up operation. Swarmed by Paarl Boys players. And it is Cole Moultrie who's prominent in that defensive effort from Paarl Boys. Again, it's come back on the side of SACS as this time Paarl Boys meet them in defense. Spun back to SACS, and that's hacked down the middle of the field by Michael Skills, giving Paarl Boys a counter-attack opportunity. Here's the number 7 flanker in Corbus Walken, who's had a very strong game. Bernard de Toy decides route 1, met in defense. Looking for a quick ball is Snyman. Good hit on Tasso, but it's all Paarl Boys at the moment. Pick and go coming in from another replacement in Max Milan. He's left the ball, picked it up. Milan still going. Just short. SACS have won it. Well, toing and froing. And that's a penalty, surely. Dived in from the side. Well, what do you make of that, Morgs?
Well, referee's decision is stolen by White, taken back. Interesting call. Very difficult to see what's going on amongst all those bodies, and the jerseys
Carry it back. If you talk like that
are
again,
not too
you can go
dissimilar.
sit. Let's go. Right, let's go.
Nonetheless, play continues. Scrum down to the home side. And they'll be looking to end on a high. You spoke about that momentum that they'll be wanting to take it into next week. A couple of changes often brings
Crouch.
disjointedness amongst
Bind.
your team.
Sit.
Well, they'll look for a right shoulder. Well, Paarl boys, don't be surprised if you see the 8th man pick and go. Spun out front of Mava. Stepping, popping. Still going up. Paarl boys. Great defensive work by SACS. Held up. And it's another 5-meter scrum. You just feel tactically SACS have got it wrong in the second half. They've tried to kick off 10 and 13, making a 10-meter pass back into the wind as we see being held up here. Good defensive work, and they just one feels into the wind. You've got to kick contestables of 9. You can't go back. You hack it down the middle of the field at your peril. It allows opposition a counter-attacking opportunity, 2 sides to attack. And again, SACS find themselves under the cosh, under their own uprights. It'll be the replacement scrum off in Josh Leroux to feed Leroux out to Fanamava, and it's popped back inside, and that's a knock on Shirley.
There's no advantage under pressure there. Knock on.
But I also like what you said about kicking in the wide channels. You know, you make the kick so much easier if you make 2 passes. You force the wing in the open side to come up, and as he comes up, then the space in behind is so much more. You put the kick in behind him. Fullback's got to cover. You've got a couple of guys in front of the ball, and then you feel a little bit more in control. You know, just kicking open side, sort of without a real plan, just opens up the field for this counter attack, which we know Paarl boys possess so well.
Well, it's nearly time for that King Price player of the match, Morgan. I don't know who's impressed you, but
Crouch.
the number 15 from Paarl boys has impressed me.
Sit.
Free kick, early shove. Nice, 34 points to 8 down. Surely you want to tap and go. You're going to kick it out. You're going to allow Paarl boys an opportunity to set the line out. Work on their set phase for next week. And this time, Skills has found touch. Surely you want to die wondering. You need to tap and go in these circumstances. Anyway. Oh, the dark arts being explained to Bates Winshaw by the referee. And it is the replacement hooker in JP Norton who's found his way onto the field in the red scrum cap, who misses his line-out jumper. Good work from Boys, who's met in defence by Moultrie. Counter-ruck coming in from Boys High. As they have won a penalty for some good work at the breakdown. Counter-rucking. Decision time. Slow it down. One would be would think. Fanamava. Smack it into touch. Try work on 1 or 2 mauls going into next weekend's derby clash.
Guaranteed to be plenty of those next week.
Step number 1. Step. Open up.
Now,
Open up.
can Norton find his jumpers? 6-man line out. The driving maul coming in.
Get out. Get out.
Josh Leroux looking for the ball as it's taken in by Norton. Marshalling his forwards is Leroux. He wants the ball in his hands. He finds Cobus Wilkin, who's had a very workmanlike game, as the blindside flanker Wilkin. Being held up in defence as he wrestles to ground. Strong run coming in from Paarl boys yet again. Quick ball. And it's this time Max Milan. Josh Leroux still looking for that quick ball going same side. The home side in Paarl boys. Spun out to Lopesha, and it's into the corner, and it's the left winger. He's in for a brace, and it is Kaleb Holmes who's gone in for his second of the afternoon. Just starting to wilt away are the visitors. And it is the left winger in the form of Kaleb Holmes who has got in for his second try this afternoon. But again, the platform being laid by the hard-working tight forwards And those one-off ball carriers are making meters.
Boys, this time, it just seems as though, able to release those balls in the tackle, suck in the defenders, still shift the ball. And that's what's finding that extra numbers in the wide channels for Boys in the second half. And they've taken it with open arms. Second score by Kaleb Holmes. And Boys now head on to a 39.8 lead with only 5 minutes to play.
The 7th try of the afternoon for Paarl Boys, 2 conversions. It'll be a slightly concerning stat going into next week, but great hands. And then finished off by the left winger in Kaleb Holmes. Lopes has also had a very strong game for Paarl Boys this afternoon as SACS go down the middle of the field. As we go forward, yet again, spun out to LaRue, out the back door, Fanamava looking for runners. Strong work from Paarl Boys. Kaleb Holmes now, the interpassings sublime from Paarl Boys as they keep running with it. Charging Gazelles are those in dark blue, white and light blue, and this could be one of the tries of the season. What a ride by the replacement scrum half in Josh LaRue. That's more like it from Paarl Boys. The coaching staff will be saying brilliant interpassing. The passes decided to stick as Fanamava goes quickly, smacks it over. But what a run by the number 7 in Kobus Walkin, interpassing sublime. And the replacement scrum half in Josh LaRue has got in for one of the tries of the season.
One has to ask, where's this rugby been all afternoon? Great interplay, backs and forwards, and over they go. Yet another score. And I almost want to say this, when I look towards the Boys' coaches' box or behind the post where they stand, there's as many coaches as there are players on the field currently.
Lekay gets us underway, a nice hanging restart. Well taken by the replacement in Trichard van Tonda. His dad will be happy with that. Well, there's a fasty blow around the neck from the replacement that still's been spun out wide. Now they've got numbers aplenty of Paarl Boys, just need to put it through the hands. Now could this be the hat-trick score for the left winger in Kaleb Holmes? Yes, it can. Running off the ball, Paarl Boys have found an extra gear, and they are now running SACS right as the left winger in Kaleb Holmes gets his 3rd of the afternoon. Just too many numbers for SACS, spun through the hands. Step off the left foot, some porous defense, and Paarl Boys have reached 50.
Crazy to think they've reached 50 considering the score was 10-8 at halftime. 41 unanswered points in the second half. If the attitudes went right before kickoff, I tell you what, that halftime chat that you spoke about, Gareth, certainly fixed all of that.
And he's been prominent this afternoon in attack as Kaleb Holmes. He's got in for his 3rd, his hat-trick try. In this King Price Derby Series clash down here at Brug Street. It is the home side, Paarl Boys, who found the 6th gear in the second half as they lead this contest by 51 points to 8. SACS will want to add some respectability to the scoreline. They've been full value for their 10-8 deficit at halftime, but it's fallen away badly in the second half. Just seem to lack rhythm, have the visitors, as it's Forbes who feeds Boys down the blind side. Still going is Robert Boys. He's shown good heart. He hasn't given up. Matt Forbes feeding Sitole. Good tackle from Paarl Boys. Forbes again to Herman. Herman's there, setting it up in midfield, right. Forbes spun out the hands, good pass from Grant. Now, Jurgens met in defense by the left winger Kaleb Holmes and bundled into touch. And this one feels will be the last set phase of the game, Wolves, as Norton will feed the line out.
Relax, relax. Yeah, just relax. Open. Yeah, there.
Well, of course, in this King Price Derby series, you have a King Price
Back in.
and Suzuki man of the match. And this afternoon, that honour will go to the Paarl boys fullback in Mark Grindley. He had the Suzuki game-changing moment just after half-time. And then again for his second, as SACS found a way to come away with it. Spun through the hands. Bell looking for Jurgens. Pop back inside to Bell. Forbes to Boys. Back inside. Here goes SACS again to Zankwa, the captain. No advantage. SACS have to tap and go. Thrown to Lakay. Tap and go. Here goes Lakay. Good stepping by the diminutive fullback. Still going is Lakay. Inside that Paarl boys 22-meter line.
Get out, get out.
Popped out the back. Good hands from SACS. Herman's just knocked it on.